Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked forces in life, silence. Not the absence of noise, not the emptiness of words, but the purposeful, intentional silence that allows life to unfold in ways you cannot force. The truth is, we live in a world that glorifies noise, constant chatter, endless opinions, and the never-ending rush to act. But what if I told you that the greatest breakthroughs, the deepest insights, and the most profound opportunities often arrive when you stop talking, stop struggling, and simply let things come to you? When you stay silent, you give yourself the space to observe, to reflect, and to truly understand what is happening around you. Life is always speaking, but most people are too busy making noise to hear it. The answers you seek, the clarity, the opportunities, the breakthroughs are already there. They are waiting for you to pause, to stop forcing, and to listen. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. Silence is control. Silence is the magnet that draws what you need to you naturally. Think about a seed buried in the soil. It doesn't scream at the sun. It doesn't argue with the rain. It waits quietly, doing what it must in stillness. And then, when the time is right, it bursts through the earth, unstoppable and powerful. That is what happens when you stay silent in life. You prepare yourself in the stillness, you nurture your inner strength, and you allow the natural forces of life to guide you toward your destiny. Far too many people try to force their way through life, trying to control outcomes, manipulate situations, and chase results. And yet, despite all their efforts, they feel frustrated, anxious, and exhausted. The reality is that life has a rhythm, a flow, and a natural order. When you resist, when you push, when you speak too soon or act too hastily, you interfere with that rhythm. But when you stay silent, you align with it. You begin to notice patterns, recognize opportunities, and make decisions that feel effortless because they are in harmony with what life is already offering you. Silence also teaches patience. The ability to wait, to observe, and to trust is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. In the silence, you learn to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. You learn to sense the right timing. You learn to respond rather than react. And when you respond from this place of calm clarity, your actions carry a power and precision that noise and haste could never achieve. Another incredible gift of silence is that it strengthens your mind. When you quiet your thoughts, you begin to see yourself clearly. You understand your desires, your fears, your motivations, and your true potential. Noise clouds judgment. Noise creates distraction. But silence clears the lens through which you view your life. It allows you to see what truly matters and what does not, giving you the focus to invest your energy in the areas that will yield the greatest results. And let me tell you, the world will notice when you embrace silence. People are drawn to those who are grounded, calm, and deliberate. Opportunities are drawn to those who do not chase, but attract. Success, abundance, love, and fulfillment. All these things come naturally when you cultivate this inner stillness. You become like water, flowing with life instead of crashing against it. So I challenge you today, learn the art of staying silent. Resist the urge to explain, to justify, to force, or to control. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in life's timing. Observe more than you speak, reflect more than you react, and watch as everything you desire begins to move toward you naturally, effortlessly, and powerfully. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is potential. Silence is the soil in which your dreams grow, the calm before your victory, and the power behind every decision you will ever make. Stay silent, stay patient, stay present, and everything will come naturally. Silence is strength, a concept that is often misunderstood in a world that glorifies noise and constant action. Many people believe that being vocal, aggressive, or always on the move is the path to power and success. They think that the louder they are, the more they are seen, the more they are respected, and the more they can influence the world around them. But the truth is that real strength is quiet, measured, and deliberate. It is found in the moments when you choose to pause instead of reacting, when you choose to listen instead of speaking, and when you allow yourself to be present without feeling the need to control everything. True power is not about dominating conversations or forcing outcomes. It is about mastering the art of restraint and understanding the energy of life before you act. When you stay silent, you tap into a deeper level of awareness. Noise, constant chatter, and impulsive reactions create chaos in the mind, clouding judgment and masking clarity. But when you stop talking, when you stop trying to prove yourself or convince others, you create space to observe, to reflect, and to understand. In this space, you begin to notice patterns that were invisible before. You start to see opportunities that were hidden behind the distractions of your own thoughts and the opinions of others. Silence allows you to connect with your intuition, the quiet inner voice that knows the truth about what you need, what you want, and what you are capable of achieving. Think about the leaders and visionaries who have changed the world. Many of them are not the loudest voices in the room. Many of them listen first and speak only when their words carry power, purpose, and clarity. They understand that speaking too soon or too often dilutes impact. They know that silence can communicate more than words ever could. Silence communicates confidence because it shows that you are not desperate for validation, that you trust yourself, and that you understand your own value. When you cultivate this kind of presence, people begin to respect you, opportunities begin to align with you, and influence comes naturally. Staying silent also teaches self-discipline. In a world of instant gratification, the ability to hold back, to wait, and to resist the urge to react immediately is a rare and powerful skill. Discipline is not about restriction, it is about control. Control over your words, control over your emotions, and control over the energy you put into the world. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you strengthen your mind and your character. You begin to realize that not every situation requires your input, that not every argument needs to be won, and that not every opportunity requires immediate action. By holding your ground in silence, you conserve your energy for the moments that truly matter, and you approach life with a sense of calm authority that others cannot manufacture. Another important aspect of silence as strength is the ability to observe without judgment. When you are quiet, you are able to see people, situations, and opportunities for what they really are, rather than what you fear them to be or hope them to be. Noise and impulsive reactions are often driven by fear, ego, or insecurity. Silence, on the other hand, creates a neutral space where you can analyze circumstances objectively, make smarter decisions, and respond in ways that are aligned with your long-term vision. It allows you to detach from the chaos around you and to act from a place of power rather than weakness. Furthermore, silence allows you to harness the energy of life instead of resisting it. Life moves in rhythms, flows, and cycles, and when you are constantly forcing, pushing, or speaking too soon, you interfere with these natural processes. Strength is found in recognizing that some things cannot be rushed, that timing is critical, and that the universe often delivers results to those who wait with patience and presence. When you stay silent, you become like water, flexible, adaptable, and able to flow into the paths that lead to growth, abundance, and fulfillment. Silence also cultivates inner resilience. It teaches you to be comfortable with yourself, to trust your instincts, and to find confidence without relying on external validation. In the quiet, you discover your true potential because there are no distractions, no comparisons, and no noise to cloud your self-perception. The strongest individuals are those who have mastered the ability to sit with themselves, to embrace stillness, and to allow life to unfold while remaining grounded and centered. When you embrace silence as strength, your entire approach to life transforms. You are no longer reacting impulsively, You are no longer seeking approval, and you are no longer driven by fear. Instead, you act from clarity, intention, and power. You understand the timing of every action, the weight of every word, and the energy you bring into every space. You begin to attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences not because you are chasing them, but because you are aligned with the energy that naturally draws them toward you. Trust life's rhythm. This is one of the most powerful yet overlooked truths in the pursuit of success and fulfillment. Most people live their lives in constant resistance to the natural flow of events. They push, they force, they try to control outcomes that are never truly in their hands. They rush into decisions, overplan, overthink, and ultimately exhaust themselves chasing results that could have come to them naturally if they had simply aligned with the rhythm of life. Life has its own timing, its own order, its own flow. Just like the ocean has tides, just like the seasons change, just like the sun rises and sets without hesitation, life moves in patterns that, when respected, can bring immense clarity, power, and opportunity. Trusting this rhythm means accepting that there is a natural sequence to everything and understanding that impatience is often the enemy of progress. When you trust life's rhythm, you stop struggling against what is. You stop trying to force doors open that are meant to remain closed, and you stop expending energy on battles that are not yours to fight. Instead, you start to observe, to understand, and to act in alignment with the opportunities that are presenting themselves at the right time. This doesn't mean being passive. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for miracles to happen. It means becoming deeply aware of the timing of events, the energy of the people around you, and the subtle cues that indicate when to move and when to hold back. When you move in rhythm with life, your actions carry precision, purpose, and power, and the results you achieve feel effortless because they are aligned with the natural order of things. Far too many people try to force success. They believe that the harder they push, the faster they will achieve their goals. But pushing without alignment creates resistance. It creates frustration, anxiety, and often leads to failure or burnout. The key is to understand that there are moments when action is required and moments when stillness is required. Trusting the rhythm of life allows you to differentiate between the two. It allows you to invest your energy where it will yield maximum results and to conserve your energy where forcing would only create unnecessary struggle. Timing is not something you can manufacture. It is something you can recognize and honor through patience and awareness. Trusting life's rhythm also teaches humility and surrender. It reminds you that you are part of something larger than yourself, something beyond your control, yet something that is deeply supportive when you align with it. When you surrender the need to control every outcome, you create space for opportunities to flow toward you naturally. Doors open, connections appear, and solutions arise when you are in sync with the rhythm of life. Those who resist this rhythm, who insist on forcing, pushing, and controlling, often find themselves exhausted, frustrated, and stuck in cycles of disappointment. The universe responds to energy, to alignment, and to intention, and when you move in harmony with it, life responds in kind. Another critical aspect of trusting life's rhythm is the cultivation of patience. Patience is not passive waiting. It is an active, engaged awareness of the unfolding of events. Patience allows you to see the big picture, to understand the long-term consequences of your actions, and to act with strategic timing rather than reactive impulse. Patience is power because it gives you the ability to hold steady when chaos surrounds you, to maintain focus when others are panicking, and to act decisively when the moment is ripe. Those who lack patience are often caught in cycles of impulsive decision making, chasing results that elude them because they are not acting in harmony with the natural flow of life. Trusting life's rhythm also heightens your awareness of subtle signs, signals, and opportunities. When you stop forcing and start observing, You notice patterns, connections, and possibilities that were invisible when you were consumed by struggle. You learn to read the energy of situations, the intentions of people, and the timing of events. This awareness allows you to make decisions that are not just reactive but inspired, not just logical but aligned with the natural course of your journey. Alignment with life's rhythm transforms your actions into something that feels effortless yet powerful, strategic yet intuitive. Ultimately, trusting life's rhythm is about surrendering the illusion of control while embracing your own power. It is about understanding that you cannot rush destiny, that you cannot manufacture timing, and that the universe operates according to laws far greater than any individual desire. Yet within this surrender, there is tremendous personal power, clarity, and confidence. By trusting the natural flow of events, you conserve energy, sharpen your focus, and position yourself to act at the perfect moment. Life begins to feel less like a battle and more like a dance, where every step, every pause, and every movement is in harmony with the forces around you. Patience breeds clarity, and it is one of the most transformative forces in achieving success, fulfillment, and inner peace. In our fast-paced world, patience is often overlooked or undervalued. People rush through decisions, chase instant results, and expect life to deliver on their timelines. But clarity, the kind that allows you to see the path forward, make wise choices, and understand your true desires, cannot be rushed. Clarity comes to those who are willing to wait, to observe, and to trust the process. It comes when you are willing to step back from the chaos, silence the noise around you, and allow yourself to see the bigger picture with a calm and focused mind. Patience is not passive. It is an active, powerful practice that strengthens your ability to make decisions with precision and confidence. When you cultivate patience, you give yourself the gift of perspective. Life is filled with fleeting moments, distractions, and emotions that can cloud judgment. In the absence of patience, these fleeting currents pull you in every direction, creating confusion and uncertainty. But when you exercise patience, you step above the temporary waves and see the underlying patterns that shape your life. You begin to recognize what truly matters and what is merely a distraction. You gain the ability to distinguish between situations that require immediate attention and those that benefit from thoughtful consideration. This clarity allows you to invest your time, energy, and focus where it matters most, creating momentum that is grounded in understanding rather than chaos. Patience also fosters emotional intelligence. When you resist the urge to react impulsively, you gain control over your emotions and responses. Most people are controlled by their impulses. They speak before thinking, act before understanding, and make decisions based on fleeting feelings rather than strategic insight. By cultivating patience, you create a pause between stimulus and response. This pause gives you the space to observe, analyze, and respond with intention. It allows you to see situations as they are, without distortion, and to make decisions that are aligned with your long-term goals and values. Emotional mastery, after all, is the cornerstone of personal and professional success, and patience is the training ground where it is developed. Another critical aspect of patience is the ability to understand timing. Life operates according to rhythms and cycles, and the most successful individuals are those who can sense when to act and when to wait. Impatience often leads to premature actions, rushed decisions, and missed opportunities. Patience, on the other hand, allows you to align with the natural timing of events. It teaches you to wait for the right conditions, the right information, and the right opportunities before committing your energy and resources. When you act from patience, your efforts carry greater impact because they are not wasted on forcing outcomes that are not yet ready to manifest. Patience transforms effort into power, strategy into momentum, and intention into results. Patience also sharpens your focus. When you rush, you scatter your energy across multiple tasks, ideas, or goals, diluting the effectiveness of your actions. By exercising patience, you create the ability to concentrate deeply on what truly matters. You become selective about where you direct your attention and what deserves your commitment. This focus allows you to dig deeper, to explore options thoroughly, and to make decisions based on insight rather than urgency. Clarity arises naturally from this focused attention because your mind is no longer cluttered by haste, distraction, or pressure. Every thought, action, and choice is guided by purpose rather than panic. Patience strengthens resilience. The path to any meaningful goal is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, delays, and obstacles. Impatience magnifies these challenges, creating frustration, doubt, and anxiety. Patience, however, allows you to endure difficulties with composure, to see setbacks as temporary, and to recognize that every challenge carries a lesson or an opportunity. It gives you the inner strength to persist, the mental clarity to adjust strategies, and the emotional balance to maintain confidence even in uncertain circumstances. The clarity that arises from patience is inseparable from the wisdom gained through endurance. Furthermore, patience encourages observation and learning. When you are willing to wait and watch, you notice patterns, understand behaviors, and identify solutions that were invisible when you were rushing. You learn to read the energy of situations and people, to recognize subtle signs and signals, and to respond in ways that are calculated and effective. Clarity is not just about seeing the next step. It is about understanding the entire journey. Patience allows you to build this broader awareness, to act with insight, and to move confidently in alignment with your goals and values. In essence, patience is the gateway to clarity. It is the tool that separates reaction from response, chaos from order, and impulsive action from intentional achievement. Those who cultivate patience gain a mental and emotional advantage that accelerates growth, sharpens decision making, and positions them for success. Clarity emerges naturally from this practice, illuminating the path forward with a precision and confidence that cannot be manufactured by force or haste. Inner reflection is one of the most powerful tools you can develop in your journey toward personal growth, success, and fulfillment. In a world filled with distractions, endless opinions, and constant pressure to perform, few people take the time to look inward and truly understand themselves. Yet, it is through reflection that you gain clarity, wisdom, and insight into your own desires, motivations, and potential. Inner reflection is not about retreating from life or avoiding challenges. It is about engaging with yourself on a deeper level, observing your thoughts and emotions, and learning from your experiences. It is a practice that transforms the way you think, act, and interact with the world, allowing you to approach life with purpose, confidence, and authenticity. When you take the time to reflect, you begin to understand the patterns that govern your life. You notice the habits that propel you forward and the behaviors that hold you back. You identify the choices that align with your highest goals and the decisions that lead to frustration or stagnation. This self-awareness is essential because without it, you are at the mercy of impulses, external pressures, and fleeting emotions. By engaging in reflection, you gain control over your life because you begin to understand not only what you want but why you want it, and how your actions either support or sabotage your progress. Inner reflection is like holding up a mirror to your soul. It reveals what is hidden beneath the surface and illuminates the path forward. Reflection also cultivates emotional intelligence. Most people react to situations based on surface-level emotions without understanding the deeper forces driving their responses. When you practice inner reflection, you learn to pause, analyze, and understand the root of your feelings. You begin to recognize fear, anger, or frustration as signals rather than obstacles. You learn to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. This ability to regulate your emotions, to interpret your experiences, and to respond with intention is what sets successful, influential individuals apart from the rest. Emotional intelligence, developed through reflection, becomes a cornerstone of resilience, effective decision making, and meaningful relationships. Another critical benefit of inner reflection is clarity of purpose. When you step back from the noise of daily life and examine your goals, values, and desires, you gain a sense of direction that is unshakable. Clarity arises when you are honest with yourself about what truly matters and what is merely a distraction. Reflection helps you prioritize, focus, and align your actions with your vision. It allows you to invest your energy wisely, to say no to what does not serve your goals, and to pursue what brings the greatest fulfillment. This sense of purpose fuels motivation, drives persistence, and ensures that every effort you make moves you closer to the life you are meant to create. Inner reflection also strengthens resilience and adaptability. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Without self-awareness, obstacles can feel overwhelming and setbacks can derail progress. But when you engage in reflection, you gain insight into your strengths, weaknesses, and patterns of response. You learn from mistakes rather than being defeated by them, and you identify strategies to overcome obstacles more effectively. Reflection allows you to adapt, to pivot when necessary, and to approach challenges with a solution-oriented mindset rather than frustration or defeat. This resilience is built not through external circumstances, but through the conscious practice of understanding yourself deeply and responding wisely. Furthermore, reflection enhances decision making. The choices you make are only as good as the awareness and insight behind them. When you take time to reflect, you consider options more carefully, weigh consequences, and align decisions with your long-term goals and values. You avoid impulsive actions that lead to regret, and instead make choices that are deliberate, informed, and impactful. This reflective approach ensures that your actions carry weight, purpose, and effectiveness, and it empowers you to navigate complex situations with confidence and precision. Reflection also deepens your relationships. By understanding yourself, your triggers, your motivations, and your desires, you are better equipped to understand others. You become more empathetic, more patient, and more capable of communicating with clarity and compassion. Your presence becomes grounded, your interactions more meaningful, and your influence more authentic. People are drawn to those who demonstrate self-awareness because it signals strength, maturity, and reliability. Ultimately, inner reflection is a practice of empowerment. It is the deliberate act of turning inward to understand, learn, and grow. It allows you to break free from automatic reactions, distractions, and unproductive patterns, replacing them with clarity, wisdom, and intentionality. Those who engage in regular reflection find that they navigate life with greater ease, confidence, and effectiveness, making decisions from a place of knowledge rather than uncertainty, moving through challenges with resilience, and cultivating relationships that are meaningful and impactful. Attract, don't chase is one of the most powerful principles that can transform the way you live, work, and achieve your goals. Too often, people operate from a mindset of pursuit. They chase opportunities, chase recognition, chase approval, and chase results. This approach is exhausting, unsustainable, and often leads to frustration because energy spent chasing is energy spent in resistance. Chasing communicates lack, it communicates need, and it signals to the universe and to people around you that you are trying to force outcomes that are not yet aligned with your natural path. In contrast, when you cultivate a mindset of attraction, you begin to operate from a place of abundance, confidence, and alignment. You stop forcing and start drawing what you want into your life effortlessly because your energy, presence, and actions are in harmony with the outcomes you desire. The principle of attraction begins with self-awareness. People are drawn to those who are grounded, self-assured, and purposeful. When you focus on becoming the person who embodies the qualities, skills, and mindset necessary for your goals, you naturally attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with that energy. Attraction is not about manipulation or trying to impress others. It is about cultivating your own power, presence, and authenticity. The more you develop your skills, strengthen your character, and nurture your confidence, the more magnetic you become. Your energy communicates readiness, competence, and alignment, and the universe responds by presenting the right circumstances at the right time. Attraction also requires clarity of intention. You must know what you want, why you want it, and how it fits into the bigger picture of your life. Clarity allows you to project a focused energy that draws opportunities rather than scattering your efforts in random pursuits. When your actions are guided by intention, every move you make sends a clear signal to the world about who you are and what you are aligned with. This clarity strengthens your presence and creates an invisible pull toward the outcomes, relationships, and experiences that are meant for you. Attraction becomes a natural byproduct of living intentionally, acting authentically, and maintaining alignment with your purpose. Another key element of attraction is patience and timing. Just as a magnet does not force objects to stick, but draws them naturally through its presence, you cannot force life to deliver outcomes prematurely. Attempting to chase results often leads to stress, misaligned decisions, and missed opportunities. By trusting in timing and allowing things to unfold, you create a natural flow that supports success. Patience allows you to observe, assess, and act when the moment is optimal. It teaches you that rushing, overexerting, or pushing against resistance rarely yields meaningful results. Attraction is amplified when you combine confidence with patience, presence with purpose and self, mastery with strategic timing. Attracting rather than chasing also strengthens your mindset. Chasing is rooted in fear and scarcity. It stems from the worry that if you don't act, you will miss out, or that what you desire will never come to you. Attraction, however, is rooted in abundance, trust, and belief in your own power. When you operate from attraction, you no longer fear rejection, failure, or missed opportunities. You trust that what is meant for you will come, and you focus on elevating yourself to the level where you are naturally ready to receive it. This mindset shift is transformative because it replaces stress, anxiety, and desperation with confidence, composure, and clarity. Attraction also emphasizes the quality of your energy and presence. People, opportunities, and circumstances respond not only to what you do, but to the energy you carry. When you cultivate positivity, strength, authenticity, and calm confidence, you naturally become magnetic to what you desire. Others are drawn to your energy, doors open effortlessly, and alignment begins to happen without struggle. By investing in yourself, focusing on your personal growth, and maintaining high standards for your thoughts, actions, and interactions, you create a natural force that pulls success toward you. Furthermore, attraction is reinforced by action that is aligned with purpose rather than desperation. It is not passive, it is strategic. You still pursue goals, develop skills, and engage with the world, but every action is intentional, measured, and empowered. When actions are combined with patience, clarity, and presence, they become vehicles of attraction rather than expressions of chase. Opportunities begin to present themselves naturally because your energy, focus, and actions are in harmony with the outcomes you desire. Ultimately, the principle of attract, don't chase teaches that success, abundance, and fulfillment are drawn to those who cultivate inner strength, clarity, patience, and authenticity. By focusing on becoming the person who embodies the qualities of what you seek, aligning your actions with intention, maintaining presence, and trusting timing, you create a natural magnetism that draws the right people, opportunities, and circumstances toward